A recent article in the New York Times noted that many successful business people and high achievers had musical training when they were growing up. So even if the young performers in our next piece don't become professional musicians, it's quite possible that they'll be achieving big things in other walks of life, because music teaches so much more.
Hawaii Youth Symphony has several programs that operate all throughout the year. At the top is our Symphony program, which has 3 orchestras: the Concert Orchestra, the Youth Symphony 2, and Youth Symphony 1, which is our top orchestra. Then we have our Academy Strings program. This is kind of an entry-level and novice-level strings program. Our beginning string ensemble, our string orchestra, intermediate string ensemble, and concert string orchestra. Then we have our partnership with the Boys and Girls Club. The Music in the Clubhouse program is kind of like a bridging the gap type of offer. It's really targeted at students who don't have music in their schools, and so they have the opportunity just for $15 for the entire year to get music twice a week. They learn beginning band instruments, they all learn to sing, play recorder, basic musical vocabulary, and how to read music. Really fundamental skills to either succeed in music in their schools or in Hawaii Youth Symphony. Last but not least, we have our Listen and Learn educational school concerts. This is a prime initiative of Youth Symphony because we believe that we want to create a future for youth all throughout the state. So these are kids, they come in 6 to 8 concerts a year, and we perform these specially designed educational concerts. It's youth concerts for youth, performed by youth, and we serve about 10,000 kids every year. I began playing the bass at age 9 at Honolulu School, and my first orchestra experience was really in the Youth Symphony. My parents signed me up, and I went 10 years through Youth Symphony, bridging the gap into school, where I went to Iolani, and then finally to New England Conservatory, which is a music school in Boston. Eventually I did end up at Harvard getting a master's in arts and education. How did Youth Symphony help that? Well, for one thing, it gave me the on-the-ground, real training that you need to be in the arts. And number 2, it, along with my schooling, helped me to really understand the role of hard work and perseverance. If you really work hard, you can make that leap.
My name is Justin Park. I go to Iolani. I'm a senior there, and I play the violin. Well, I plan to major in business, and I feel like music will always be a part of me because it's been with me my whole childhood and throughout my life, actually. It's taught me discipline, leadership skills that are crucial in just surviving in everyday life and performing. I thank the Youth Symphony for giving me these skills.
There's a strong correlation between musical training and success in life. Either career success or personal success. It really has to do with the work ethic that students develop through musical training. You learn how to pay attention to, your individual task and the consistency and the improvement of your own abilities. But you also have to learn how to work with others, understand what's going on around you in context, place your skills in a way that complements what's going on around you. And on stage, they're doing it non-verbally. They're interpreting gesture and different types of other non-verbal communication. You know when you hear a really fine performance of music. In terms of how does that translate to personal success, I think it's clear-cut.
I think music can help you in other subjects in school because it kind of teaches you discipline, especially in the Youth Symphony, because you have to practice a lot and you have to work really hard and pay attention, and that kind of just transfers to schoolwork as well.
Henry Miyamura is our music director and conductor of Youth Symphony 1, and I would say that Maestro Miyamura is a living legend. You go to any performance in the Royal Hawaiian Band or the Hawaii Symphony or in Waikiki, and it's impossible to find a musician who hasn't been touched or worked with Mr. Miyamura.
My name is Henry Miyamura. I've been with the Youth Symphony program. Actually, this will be my 30th year. I've taught almost 12,000. I worked with 12,000 students. The pay in itself is not great, but what is great and rewarding is to see the faces of each of the student performers on the instrument. When there's something very difficult, and when they're able to do it, The smile that they have and the happiness that they have achieved something that they thought was impossible, that's the greatest reward for me personally.
My first year as executive director has been extremely rewarding. It's really great to come back to the community that I grew up in, to be able to work with a lot of the conductors and teachers that I grew up with, and even better, to see the kids, because the kids are really why Youth Symphony exists. They're working really hard, and they're making a lot of music. Waitiki 7 is an exotica band modeled after the music of Martin Denny and Arthur Lyman that I started with Abe Lagrimas Jr. He's a drummer from Waipahu, and we were both in Youth Symphony together. This year's Youth Symphony fundraiser, He Makana Ona Mele, the gift of music, at the Hilton Hawaiian Village Choral Ballroom. This event, which is our major fundraiser for the Youth Symphony, had the theme of the Golden Ages of Waikiki. We enlisted the help of our friend Jimmy Borges. He's kind of known as the keeper of the flame. And we were so lucky to have Jimmy singing with us. The easiest way that people can support us is by coming to our concerts. They really love seeing people in the audience, and we know that an enthusiastic crowd can really help them push them to their limit. About 60% of our kids come from public schools. We do a lot of fundraising. Kids all throughout our program receive financial aid of some sort. We believe that keeping our costs low, our tuition low, and having financial aid really makes it possible for as many students to participate as possible. We give out about $40,000 to $50,000 of financial aid every year, and this is money that helps to cover tuition, instrument rental, registration fees, private lessons, and even travel assistance for neighbor island students. Hawaii Youth Symphony is funded through a mixture of sources. Less than a third of it comes from tuition. Actually, most of it comes from private donations and contributions, corporate sponsorships, and foundation grants, and of course some public money. Well, a great way to get involved with Hawaii Youth Symphony if you don't have a computer is to call us, 941-9706, or you can visit our offices. We're in the Varsity Building on University Avenue. Our office address is 1110 University, Suite 200, and we're open Mondays through Fridays from 9 to 5.